Shamila, you can start.
Okay, sir. Am I audible? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Make every day a little less than ordinary. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shamila Sharif of 3rd BSc Psychology, here to compare today's e-workshop. We are at the second day of a workshop series on research methodology, paradigms, and trends organized by the PG Department of Psychology, Yuvakshetra College. Let me initially remind everyone to kindly follow the etiquette completely throughout the session. Please make sure that your audio is muted and video is off. You can ask your doubts and questions regarding the session through chat box as the session gets progress. Moving officially, a day with prayer is a day with power. Prayer always makes us feel pleasant and positive. For prayer, I welcome Harsha S. of 3rd BSc Psychology.
തുടിക്കുന്ന ജീവന്റെ ഓരോ തുടിപ്പും ഒടുങ്ങാത്ത കർമ്മത്തുടിപ്പാണു പോലും മടിക്കുള്ള നമ്മൾക്കുപാസിക്കുവാനായി കടം തന്നതാണി നവദ്വാരരൂപം പാരന്റെ താരാട്ടിലൊന്നങ്ങുറങ്ങാം പാരം തുടിക്കുന്നു ജീവൽ സമൂഹം തീരാത്ത ദുഃഖം ചുമടേറ്റിമെല്ലെ ദൂരം കടക്കുന്നിതേറെ പ്രയാസാൽ ഓരോ നടപ്പും തിടുക്കത്തിലായാൽ ഓരോ കിതപ്പും കുതിപ്പിന്റെ താളം ആരോ കരം ചേർത്തു കാലം കടക്കാൻ ഏറെ തുണയ്ക്കുന്ന ചിത്രം വിചിത്രം ആരോ കരം ചേർത്തു കാലം കടക്കാൻ ഏറെ തുണയ്ക്കുന്ന ചിത്രം വിചിത്രം.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you for the sweet one. Next, let me welcome our beautiful and enthusiastic woman of the department, faculty Ms. Stemy George, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Shamla. Good afternoon, all. Honorable Resource Person, Dr. Ashok Kumar Saha, Department Head, Reverend Dr. Gimmi Akka, my dear colleagues and students. Today, we all have gathered here as a part of our 5-day international e-workshop series on research methodology, paradigms, and trends. And I'm extremely privileged to have given the opportunity to extend the words of welcome. First and foremost, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our Honorable Resource Person, Dr. Ashok Kumar Saha, Professor, Department of Psychology, Jagannath University. We are very honored to have you here, sir. On the behalf of Department of Psychology and Yuvakshetra family, I welcome you, sir, to this session. Next, I would like to welcome the vibrant personality of our department, our most beloved head of the department, Reverend Dr. Gimmi Akka, to this session. Welcome, Father.
Thank you, Miss.
I also welcome all my colleagues, research scholars, and students who have gathered here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the welcome note. Before moving to this, may I introduce our resource person, Dr. Ashok Kumar Saha, who is a professor and ex-chairman of Department of Psychology, Jagannath University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. He has been implementing a project titled Advanced Teaching Learning in Psychology and HEQEP Supplementary Project as Sub-Project Manager of HEQEP UGC World Bank. He was awarded Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology from UGC Center for Advanced Study in Psychology, Department of University. He has also received the centrally awarded doctoral fellowship by ICSSR Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Dr. Saha is internationally known as a researcher, educationist, and a development worker in the area of psychology, management, and development issues. Ashok sir has also contributed in different national and international journals and published around 55 research articles. He has 3 books of his authorship title. He also has presented 27 research papers national and international conference. He is currently reviewing as well as editorial member of several journals and was the editor-in-chief of Jagannath University Journal of Psychology. He is a member of different professional and academic bodies as well. And Dr. Ashok sir is here to make us familiar and more aware of the topic, case study and focused group discussion. I'm sure that the session is going to be very informative and welcome you sir once again. Hand over the session to you.
Hello, dear participants. We are facing some technical issues. Our resource person will be joining us shortly. So thank you very much for your patience, and also your kind waiting.
Hello, am I audible now? Hello,
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
am I audible now?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
hello,
You are audible, sir. We can hear
hello.
you.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay then.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me feel sorry that I was unable to connect with you for some times. I am staying outside at my office, so maybe some difficulties are there. But now, today, let me thanks to Dr. Sannet Thomas for inviting me to present here in this session. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Oh,
you're audible,
so
sir.
thank you very much. Uh, thank you very much for inviting me here in this session today uh, for this international e-workshop on research methodology. Today, I want to discuss with you on case studies method and focus group discussion. As you are familiar that in psychological research and social research, we used to apply different type of data collection technique. So this case study method and focus group discussion, or which is called FGD, is a very important in our psychological research and social research. So as you are aware about the research methodology, so various methods of collecting data are employed
Hello. No one is audible, please check at your end.
Hello, sorry, we are trying to contact the first person to communicate that the message is not audible. Hopefully, he will rectify the problem. Sorry for the inconveniences caused.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is audible, sir. Now it is audible, sir.
Okay. Sorry, actually there is a disturbance, I think. So I want to present something on case study method and focus group discussion. As we were familiar that in social science and particularly in psychology, we are very much interested to conduct research, and we have a lot of data collection technique we use in our research, and case study and focus group discussion is one of the very important tools of data collection. Particularly, this method is used for qualitative data collection, but few information, quantitative information we also collect under this technique, but we do not analyze the quantitative information that much. We are very much interested to analyze the data for the qualitative analysis, and we are to make some general statement for the problems we have, or for the research question we have. On the basis of the research question, we used to conduct a study. So as you know, there are two types of data are available for use in our research. Various method of collecting data are employed by social scientists. The task of data collection begins after a research problem has been defined and research design or plan chalked out properly. So there are two types of data: primary data and secondary data. What is secondary? Primary data. Primary data is collected in a fresh and for the first time, and thus happens to be original in nature. And those data are collected by the researcher himself through different way in the experiment, or in the field survey, or in any kind of study. So those are called primary data. And secondary data, which have been collected by someone else and which have already been passed through the statistical process, are known as secondary data. Secondary data sources are available. We have our available source, particularly journals, research, books, and thesis, and many other reports where secondary data are available. So for this case study method, it is essentially an intensive investigation of the particular individual. Such case study method, the researcher can take one single social unit or more of such unit for his study purpose, and then the selected units is studied intensively, not partially. It should be studied in an integrated way. In general terms, the case study analyzes a defined problem consisting in a real situation and uses real information as methodological tools. What is the meaning of case study? The case study method is a very popular form of qualitative analysis and involves a careful and complete observation of a social unit, be that unit a person or a family or an institution or a cultural group or even the entire community. It is a method of study in depth rather than a brief or in a short form. So case study is First of all, it is an elaborated way to gather information or data for a particular events or for a particular units what you are interested for. So what are the steps of case study method? There are some steps we can outline. First of all, step 1, that means we have to select a case. Unless you have a case, we will not have any work. So once you have developed your problem statement and research question, you should be ready to choose the specific case that you want to focus on. And then we have to relate this case with a theoretical understanding, with a theoretical framework. And we have to build a theoretical framework of the research. And then based on the case study method, we will able to collect the information as a whole. And based on the case studies, several case studies, then you have to describe what is your finding over there. You have to analyze the cases, and then you will able to generalize your statement, generalize your statement on the basis of the information you have collected. And that is the results of your case studies. So case study method is a very popular form of qualitative analysis that involves a careful and complete observation of a social unit. And be that unit a person, as I told you, that it may be an institution, it may be a cultural group, or you can conduct a case study even on an entirely a big community. And this is a method of study in depth rather than brief. The case study places more emphasis on the full analysis of a limited number of events or conditions. That means the events or conditions you have chosen, you have to study in depth, elaborated, and descriptive way. And you have to be interested to see the interrelationship between different events within the unit, within the area of interest. And the case study deals with a process that takes place and their interrelationship with other variables within the case. Case study is successfully an intensive investigation of course of the particular unit under consideration. So what are the characteristics of these case studies? The important characteristics of these case study methods, we can outline that under this method, the researcher can take one single social unit, or sometimes someone can take more than one, or as per the requirements for his study and purposes. Here, this selected unit is studied intensively, that is, it is studied in details. Generally, the study extends over a long period of time because you need to gather a huge number of information from the unit you are interested for. So you have to spend a lot of time to collect the data as a whole. And to know the natural history of that units is also very important, whatever you are interested for. And that means you have to know the history of that particular culture, history of that particular events, history of that particular unit. And you have to obtain enough information for your research because you have to draw some correct interference. If you want to make some inferences correctly, then you have to have a lot of data, and you have to analyze those data critically to make a general statement as a result, as well as for your inferences in your research. So it is not only a technique, but also is a whole technique we used to apply in research. In this context of this method, we make complete study. We do not have any scope to left anything Rather, we have to collect all the facets, all the branches of knowledge, all the so you have to hello, hello,
Yes, sir. You're audible.
hello, hello,
You're audible, sir. You're audible, sir.
hello.
You're audible, sir.
In
No,
this
sir, you're audible.
in this context of this method, we make complete study of the social unit covering all facets. Though this method, we try to understand the complex of factors that are operative within a social unit. Approach happens to be qualitative, not quantitative. Very quantitative information is not collected. For instance, under this method, we not only study how many crimes a man has done, but shall interested into the factors that what are the forces are existing to commit such type of crimes when we are making a case study of a man as a criminal. So our target is to know why the criminals are doing such things, to know why they are committing different kind of crime. So objective of the study may be to suggest way to reform the criminals. If I can make some generalization, then our policymakers or our designated people will be able to prepare some of the innovation to reduce the crime rate or so in respect of case study method, an effort is made to know the mutual interrelationship of causal factors. What are there might be different causes are there to affect some some of the variables. So we are very much interested to know the causal factors of between the variable. So under case study method, the behavioral pattern of the concerning unit is studied directly and not by an indirect or abstract approach. So case study method results in fruitful hypothesis along with the data, which may be helpful in testing them, and thus it enables the generalized information and knowledge to get richer and richer experiences and richer knowledge. And as if it is a sense, then generalized social sciences may get handicapped without this information. So some of the assumptions of case studies. The case study method is based on several assumptions. So few of the important assumptions are the assumptions of uniformity in the basic human nature. We try to understand the basic human being's nature. It should be uniform. So we are trying to see the uniform nature of the human beings and their behavior, in spite of the fact that human behavior may vary according to situations. And other assumption is studying the natural history of the unit is concerned, because we have to be concerned about the different history of a particular events or particular man or particular community. And the assumption, third assumption is comprehensive study of the unit is concerned. We have to study it in a comprehensive way, not in a partial way or not in a shallow way. And there is another what are the major phases involved? Major phases involved in case study are as follows: recognition and determination of the status of the phenomena to be investigated. That is the first step which is involved in the case study. The second phase is collection of data and examination and history of given the phenomena, which is related to the unit, and then diagnosis. Diagnosis is the one of the major important things related to case studies. And after you have a lot of information, you have to diagnose the problems and what are the remedies of such problems, and identification of causal factors as a basis for a remedial treatment. If you can identify the problems, if you know what it is, then you will be able to make some generalization. You have to give some general idea for some innovation, as well as you will be able to give some treatment for the problems, to reduce the problems. And application of remedial measures, treatment and therapy in cases of work, and then follow-up programs to determine effectiveness of the treatment. And not only you will have to generalize your statement on the basis of your case study method, but you have to give some follow-up so that you will be able to know the progress or effectiveness or the treatment you have been recommended, how it is working. And there are few advantages of such case study method. First of all, it is an exhaustive study, it's an elaborative study, and a descriptive study, it's a qualitative study of a social life. Though case study, a research can obtain a real and enlightened record, because once you have collected a case studies information through case studies, that you have lot of data. So in that sense, you have real and enlightened data, and you can keep record for your personal experience. This method enables the researcher to trace out the natural history of the social unit, as well as it helps formulating relevant hypotheses. Once you have information, once you have relevant statement,
Hello.
able to give some. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, sir. You are audible, sir. You are audible.
Okay. So the researcher can use one or more of the several research methods under the case study method. Sometimes we use several other techniques in our case study method, depending upon the prevalence. So I find some difficulties with you, because in several time with the network is disturbing. So I will try to give some. Hello, 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 hello study. I don't know what is the reason behind this. In other words, to into study reports of individuals, letters, and other. So this method is the means to well understood the past of the social units because of its emphasis of historical analysis. Because in any case studies, we not only gathered information, but also we emphasize the history of that particular events because it will help us to give some generalization and to generalize the statement. Case study constitutes the perfect type of sociological materials. It is just the whole paradigm is in sociological, psychological, and anthropological aspect we used to follow when we are interested to collect the data. And it represents a real record of personal experience. And so for any type of case study method, the researcher must have some good experience and well experienced so that he will be able to conduct any case study is better than those who are not experienced. So first of all, you have to take a lot of training to collect data in case study method, and case study method enhances the experience of the researcher, and this in turn increases his analyzing ability and skill. Because if the researcher do not have enough skills, enough ability, enough knowledge about the case studies, he will not able to analyze the data, and he will not able to generalize any statement on the basis of the case studies. So this is all about case studies in brief. Now I would like to tell you what is group discussion, focus group discussion. As the term using focus group, that means as a researcher, you have to have your interest on a particular group or particular events. Suppose I am a researcher and I am interested to see the health practice or health condition of the general people in a particular locality in a flood-prone area. So a first group discussion is a good way to gather together people from similar backgrounds or experiences to discuss a specific topic of interest. And so to organize a focus group discussion meeting with the researcher, some other people also required to assist the researcher through keep a record of all these events through taking pictures, recording their individual discussion with the mass people. So all those will be analyzed at the end of the focus group discussion. So there should be three types of questions in a focus group discussion. First of all, group questions. This introduce the participants to the discussion topic. What is the topic you want to you are interested? What topic you are interested to know from the community? So that things you have to be very clear, and you have to ensure that all the people gathered in a particular meeting are feeling comfort, so that they will be able to tell you what about their thinking about their real experience. And there's a follow-up questions is also very important, and this to discuss the topic and the participants' opinion as well. So how do I choose a focus group discussion in a participant? The common and simplest method of selecting participants for a focus group is called purposive or convenience sampling technique. Because once you are interested to know the particular things, that means you have to go there. So there is no way that you will select that event on the basis through any sampling method of research. So you have to choose that particular area which is convenient and which is also purposive in nature for the study and for the group. This means that you select those members of the community who think will provide you with the best information, the people you are interested for. It need not to be a random selection. Indeed, the random sample may not be work for this group discussion, focus group discussion meeting. For focus group discussion meeting, you have to be present over there, and you have to first establish a rapport with the community people, and then on that particular community people will come to you around you, and you will try to make them comfortable so that they will able to tell you what you are interested for. And then you can take records, you can take photographs, and some of your research assistant or research investigator help you in different way of recording all such informations. And after that, you have to record all these things properly based on the focus group discussion you have conducted in the field. So this is very simple way of understanding what focus group discussion is. What are the importance of this focus group discussion? Focus group discussion will give you the real picture of the community, what is happening over there. So you may not get those information from some other people. So if you are interested to know particular problem, you have to go to the people who are really stakeholders of that particular community. Otherwise, if you ask the doctor about the medical facilities over there during the flood, they will not be able to give the proper information. So that if someone who is seeking for medical help, if you go there, they will tell you the right scenario during the flood. And so this is very important to know the community first, and then you have to collect your data on the basis through focus group discussion. And the focus group discussion data is more authentic and it has reliable data so far. And reliable data is very much important to conduct any innovative research or a research which is more useful for a future intervention. Because we used to conduct such focus group discussion as an action research, because maybe we used to get a lot of informations as well as experiences, so that we can improve the particular situation in future at that particular area. So focus group discussion is also a qualitative method or qualitative approach of data collection for which is used in sociology, psychology, and economics, as well as other branches of knowledge. So this is all about a focus group discussion in brief. So I think in my lecture there is a lot of disruption because of this internet network. I'm sure that the attending will give you some kind of idea about the research methodology, and this two technique is also very important along I'm not sure why there is a network connection problem today. It's too much, I think. So thank you very much for giving the opportunity to discuss with you on this international workshop on research methodology. I hope you will be able to know how to conduct a research properly in future. And if you have any question, queries, or any kind of suggestions, we can have some discussion right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this informative session. it definitely makes clear about the importance of case individual focused group discussion as well. Thank you, sir. Session participant can ask doubts.
Hello. 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 You have any question, please?
Sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
If you have any question, please.
Yes, sir.
You have any question?
Yes, sir. We have to know about the size of focused group discussion. What is the size of?
I am not listening, please. I'm sorry.
So we have to know about the size of focused group discussion. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. So we have to know about the size
I am
of
not listening you. About the size of?
focused group discussion.
Oh, it's a very good question. Now, so far I understand that how many people are required for a focus group discussion. Are you asking like this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, there is no particular number of subject required for focus group discussion, but if you are interested for a focus group discussion, if you go any places or to come or in a particular community, maybe you will find 20, 30 or up to 60 people will gather over there. It's depends on the density of the population of that particular area and how many people will be interested to you to come over there. So it depends. It depends on the size of the population of that particular area. But in a very small group discussion may be held with maybe 10 to 12 people or maximum maybe 60 to 65 people. And more than that, it will be very difficult to conduct a focus group discussion. So I think 30 to 40 is the standard size of to make any focus group discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So one more, does it have any time limit or time duration?
Oh, there is, you know, there is no time limit for this, but if you are organized, then you know the problem is before you go to conduct a focus group discussion, if you have prepared, that means it will take maximum 1 hour to take all the information through a focus group discussion. But there is no time limit as such. But you can give 40 minutes to 1 hour because people are busy, so they will not give you more time than 1 hour. So considering all their circumstances, you can fix your time. So it should not be more than 1 hour.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for clearing our doubts. And
Thank
here
you.
we come to an end of the session. And we have Nikitha Shivaku of 3rd BSc Psychology for the vote of thanks.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. A moment of gratitude makes a difference in your attitude. I, Nikitha Kumar of 3rd BSc Psychology, feel privileged to present the vote of thanks for this occasion. So without any further delay, let me get into the task I'm assigned. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Ashok Kumar Saha, for taking time out of his busy schedule and to broaden our knowledge. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank Ms. Stemy George, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, for the warm welcome speech. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to thank Harsha of 3rd BSc Psychology for the prayer. And I would like to thank Shamila Sharif of 3rd BSc Psychology for coordinating today's event. Finally, I would like to thank all the faculties, participants, and the organizing committee for their presence and support in making today's event a huge success. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.